Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today's the 8th of August 2022 and the market at the macro level looks pretty much the same since the last 48 hours or so. But if you look at the volume, it does not look that great, and one excuse that I can think of is because it is the weekend. Now here in Dubai, it's the early morning hours, but in US and in Canada, it's still the weekend. So that could be the reason why the volume is extremely low, but the price of cryptocurrencies are pretty much the same. A breaking news just happened few minutes ago before I was going to start this podcast is that the US Senate passes the Democrats' $740 billion climate, health and tax bill. So I'll be discussing that in today's episode. So the question is, how does this bill impact cryptocurrencies? We'll be definitely looking at that in today's episode. And in today's episode, we'll also be talking about an article by Forbes that could yet be another fake news, or does it have some merit? The news is that SEC is going after all US cryptocurrency exchanges, but in that article, they failed to mention absolutely any legitimate source, and the news is purely based on chatter. So we'll definitely be looking at that too. But one news that is not based on chatter is the total value locked in DeFi, often called as TVL. As a matter of fact, this is a really scary matrix and news. So what essentially happened is that someone tried to use the DeFi volume twice, in certain cases even twice or three times, and that's one of the reasons why the total value locked in DeFi had got extremely high and the number was highly exaggerated. We will definitely be looking at this in detail. Unfortunately, this has to do with Solana blockchain as well. And if you have been listening to my podcast, I've been talking about this since the last 3 months or so, that the 24-hour volume of DeFi is ridiculously low in comparison to, let's say, 2020 and the early months of 2021. And this news about using the DeFi numbers twice could be the reason why. In today's episode, we're also going to be discussing Lightning Network, and lately Lightning Network, not blockchain, has been gaining a lot of momentum in the Bitcoin and in the cryptocurrency space as well. We'll be discussing an article by CoinDesk that shares a research that is Arcane Research that has published a report where Lightning Network has been used by 100 apps across at least 20 different categories, and also discuss a news about how the gaming industry is also adopting Bitcoin's Lightning Network. And regarding UAE, I have two news, and both the news are really positive news for Dubai and for startups in Dubai and in UAE. The first news is about a $75 million digital asset fund, and it is done by 9 Blocks Capital Management. Absolutely massive news. The second news is about Dubai's Digital Asset Association under the patronage of His Excellency Omar Sultan AlOlama. Now generally, I'm not a fan of association as long as they don't have any best practices or political affiliations, but this particular association definitely seems to be positive and good for startups, especially in Dubai. So overall, both the news are definitely great for Dubai. So welcome everyone, it's 8 here in Dubai and you're listening to Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. How the series of episodes under Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, occasionally short and sweet news as well, some breaking news, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. This is followed by Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Gulf Standard Time from the cryptocurrency world. And remember, every Fridays I have an episode called Metaverse Everything, where we solely focus on Metaverse, so please check out those episodes as well. The format for Metaverse Everything podcast is completely different, and what I tend to do is I tend to publish a daily and weekly report via my LinkedIn profile. So please follow me on my LinkedIn profile. My LinkedIn profile is in the show notes below. Or you can also go to my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com, and look at these blogs under the crypto blog section. Alternatively, you can also go to the Medium website and type in Blockchain DXB. So let's kickstart today's episode with the cryptocurrency market. Today is the 3rd of August 2022, and the global crypto market is marginally up by 0.60%, and it is currently at $1.10 trillion, and the total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is ridiculously low. It is down to $41.23 billion. Imagine, guys, the entire crypto market volume is only at $41.23 billion. There have been days in the past where the 24-hour volume of Tether USDT alone was $160 billion, not counting the entire crypto market. So really, I'm not sure what is going on. One argument that I could think of is because it is a weekend. That is one of the reasons why the volume is low. But $41.23 billion, this is ridiculously low. As a matter of fact, since the last 24 hours, it is down by 13.01%. The total volume on DeFi is currently at $4.75 billion. And we'll be talking about DeFi quite a lot. One thing which I've been saying quite often in my podcast is the volume of DeFi since the last 3 months has been in single digits. Going back to 2020 and 2021, the volume of DeFi used to be around $16 to $18 billion. I'm talking about the 24-hour volume. DeFi still accounts for 11.52% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now, since the last 3 months, what I've been noticing is, apart from the volume being low, the percentage is going up, particularly stable coins. If you look at the volume of stable coins, it is down to $36.90 billion. Once again, this is the 24-hour volume. Despite being at $36.90 billion, stablecoin accounts for 89.49% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. One thing which I'd like to bring time and again is when El Salvador officially made Bitcoin a legal tender, the entire cryptocurrency market crashed. At that particular day, only the volume of Tether USDT was around the $180 billion mark. So really, I'm not sure what is going on so far as stablecoin is concerned. The price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are relatively good. So the price of Bitcoin, the king of all kings, is at $23,255. And since the last 24 hours, it is marginally down by 0.65%. But since the last 7 days, it is marginally up by 1.89%. Ethereum is currently at $1,722. Now, with two news that have recently been announced, that is the money printing done by the Democrats and the merge starting up, I wouldn't be surprised if Ethereum literally reaches $4,000 or maybe even more. But once again, my price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time. Ethereum since the last 24 hours is marginally up by 0.32%, and since the last 7 days it is down by 0.05%. Binance Coin is ridiculously up to $322. Now guys, since the last 3 months I've been saying that Binance Coin, the price has been stable. The price used to hover between $200 to $250 irrespective of SEC's investigation against Binance. But now it has gone up and currently it is at $322. Now since the last 24 hours, it is up by 1.18%, but since the last 7 days, it is up by 11.91%. And in one of the podcasts, I believe it was last Wednesday or last Thursday's podcast, I gave a very legitimate reason as to why the price of Binance Coin has gone up. They've introduced quite a new products. They added quite a lot of products onto the DeFi protocols as well. Now let's get started today's news. Now this is some really breaking news that literally happened 10 minutes ago before I was going to do this podcast recording. So the news is that the US Senate passes Democrats' $740 billion bill that is for climate, health and tax bill. Now this particular bill is called as an Inflation Reduction Act. What happened is that only the Democrats voted in favor of passing this bill. So the votes were split to 50 and 50. So because there was a tie between the vote, the Vice President, that is Kamala Harris, had to make a final decision, and needless to say, she did actually cast a tie-breaking vote and the Democratic bill has been passed. But this is not good. In the short term, what this would actually mean is that these funds will help to pump up the stock market. It would also pump up the cryptocurrency market. But the impact of this in the long-term duration, most likely as much as the first to second quarter of 2023, might be devastating. So definitely not good. Again, this news has just broken up, so I'm sure that there will be loads of articles written about it. The crypto Twitter would be absolutely going mad and rampage over this news. So in case if you do want to follow up more information, I would definitely recommend to follow Twitter. The next news that I like to talk about is most likely a fake news by Forbes, and the topic is SEC versus all cryptocurrency exchange. Now really I'm not sure if it is 100% legitimate or 100% fake news, but what the article states is that every crypto exchange is being investigated by the SEC. The reason why I don't think that this is a legitimate source, because if you read through the article, they do not provide the source. It only says an unnamed employee from Loomis office has actually claimed that. And what that unnamed employee has said is that the SEC is going after each and every cryptocurrency exchange. Now, so far as the factual information is concerned, SEC is only going after Binance and it is going after Coinbase. And the Coinbase thing has nothing to do with it being a security or a commodity. It is more to do with insider trading. Binance, on the other hand, it is more to do with the 2017 ICO that it did, and they want to determine if it is a security or a commodity. Now, historically, these news in the cryptocurrencies do turn out to be fake. If you read through the article, the news is based on Forbes' lead crypto journalist called Michael Del Castillo. And if you do want to find out more information about this news, I would recommend you guys to go ahead and follow Michael Del Castillo. Now, his Twitter profile, I've mentioned it in the show notes below. We at Blockchain DXB always say, we live in a world where having a lot of information is not information. Getting information from first source is. So this news, depending on how you take it, could either be bullish for the cryptocurrency sector or could be bearish. I would find legitimacy to the source only if the employee's name is mentioned and if the employee does actually say it via Twitter or via a website. At this point of time, I'm not sure if this is a legitimate news or if it is a fake news. The next news is definitely not fake news, and this is to do with DeFi's total value locked. If you've been listening to my podcast since the last 3 months or so, one trend that I have been observing is that the 24-hour volume of DeFi has been in the single-digit number, and this is not good news. CoinDesk has released a really informative article that actually mentions how a crypto developer faked the entire DeFi ecosystem, and most of this, unfortunately, has to do with the Solana ecosystem. The article talks about how the Massimiliano brothers used a web of bogus identities to create the illusion of a developer community, juicing the value of Saber protocol and Solana blockchain. So essentially what they did, they tried to take the number twice, in certain cases even 3 or 4 times, and because of that, the TVL, that is total value locked, was much higher than it actually was. And the article shares more information on how it could tarnish the reputation of the entire Solana ecosystem. Regarding Solana, ever since the co-founder Anatoly Yakovenko started talking trash about Bitcoin, we are getting more information of why Solana is not a good project. They have decided to go ahead and close producing blocks. Just a few days ago, we talked about how Solana wallets were hacked, and now this news. Also, Forecast News has also published an article that talks about how DeFi total value locked has plunged 67% in Q2. Definitely a great news. If you are into the DeFi space, if you go to DeFiLlama.com, this is the website that everyone uses to check the total value locked. If you look at the total value locked right now and look at the date going back to January, all-time high shows only around $180 billion. I've been using this website pretty much every day, and every day for the past 3 months, when I used to look at the total value locked, in January it used to show somewhere between $230 to $240 billion. So it looks like DeFi Llama has readjusted all the matrix, so definitely not good for the DeFi sectors. As of now, the total value locked at its all-time high shows at $185 billion instead of $240 billion. I'm pretty much sure that someone would have taken a screenshot of DeFi Llama's website. It used to show somewhere between $240 to $242 billion at the start of the year. The next news that I'd like to talk about is Lightning Network, not blockchain. This narrative of Lightning Network, not blockchain, is slowly gaining momentum, not just in the Bitcoin community, but also in the cryptocurrency space. And CoinDesk has released an article where they mention a report by Arcane Research, and the report talks about how the Lightning Network in particular has developed a diverse ecosystem of 100 apps across 20 different categories. So Lightning Network, not blockchain, is definitely and very slowly getting a lot of momentum. Last week at the Metaverse Everything podcast, I did publish a slide, and I also mentioned in the podcast on why Bitcoin using Lightning Network may actually be an ideal payment in the Metaverse. So definitely please go ahead and check out those episodes. Another positive news that I'd like to talk about Lightning Network is ZBD, which is spelled as Z for zebra, E for elephant, B for butter, E for elephant, D for David, E for elephant, E for elephant again, which is a Bitcoin-powered payment processor powered by Lightning Network for the gaming industry, has closed a $35 million Series B funding. So definitely Bitcoin using Lightning Network is a perfect use case for the gaming industry. In case if you guys do want to find out more information about Lightning Network, what I would really recommend you to do is Peter Woolley on YouTube has, if not one of the best explanation of Lightning Network, but it is extremely technical. In case if you want to find out a basic understanding of a Lightning Network is Andreas Antonopoulos has brilliant episodes talking about Bitcoin's Lightning Network. Another video which I can think of is Ivan on Tech. Going back to 2018, he used to be one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. He had published a couple of videos explaining at a very basic and beginner level. Alternatively, what you can do is you can go ahead and listen to my episodes where I go ahead and explain Bitcoin Lightning Network at a very basic and easy to understand level. Or what you can do is you can also drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com where I'll explain what Bitcoin Network is at a very basic and beginner level. And I also have a session on Bitcoin Beginner's Guide, and it is a 3-part session which starts on the 26th of August. The first one is on the 26th of August, the second one is on the 2nd of September, and the final session is on the 9th of September. So on the 2nd of September or on the 9th of September is when I'll try to explain Lightning Network at a very basic and beginner level. So you're more than welcome to attend only the standalone episode. Now let's move on to news from UAE, and both the news are very, very positive. The first news is about a $75 million digital asset fund in Dubai has been given a license approval from BRRR, and this license has been given to 9 Blocks Capital Management. So the website for 9 Blocks Capital Management is 9blockscapital.com. If you go to the website, it doesn't mention absolutely anything, just the website with an email address. That's about all. I'll try to give out more information on what 9 Blocks Capital Management is. The mission for 9 Blocks Capital Management is to become the world's leading institutional-grade crypto asset management firm, and they strongly believe that institutional investors want digital asset exposure, but via fund managers who have an established digital asset track record, are regulated, have traded, have traditional finance experience, and comply with the highest operational due diligence requirements. And the massive news is that 9 Blocks Capital Management are launching with $75 million from 9 Mass with additional day one investments by partners and its existing investors, and they've received its provisional approval from Dubai's Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, or called as BRRR. So definitely massive news. And the key person for this news is Henri Arslanian. Now his name Henri is spelled without a Y but with an I. And on his LinkedIn, he has more than 500,000 followers on LinkedIn. And he is a former global head of crypto at the financial advisory firm PwC, that is PricewaterhouseCoopers. So Henri Arslanian has launched his own crypto-dedicated venture firm 9 Blocks Capital Management and has chosen Dubai as the outfit's base of operation. And 9 Blocks will be bootstrapped by Hong Kong-based primary shareholder 9 Must Capital with $75 million. And the choice of Dubai was hinged on the city's bullish approach to help guide the growth of blockchain ecosystem on its shores. And they disclosed to Financial Times that 9 Blocks has already secured the provisional regulatory approval to operate in the city. So definitely brilliant news. And Henri Arslanian has also said that Dubai offers ease of travel and its time zone market makes it easier to connect with other regions in the Middle East and Asia. So definitely absolutely brilliant news. You already have the DMCC Crypto Center, you have BRRR, which is the Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, and overall the cryptocurrency space in Dubai and in UAE is very friendly. And Henri Arslanian has also said that they have received its provisional approval from Dubai's BRRR, that is Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, and 9blocks is observing the existing digital assets trading team at 9must, launching with about 10 members between the investment and non-investment teams. Andrew D. Goodwin, who was previously a portfolio manager at 9must, also joins as a managing partner and co-founder focusing on the investment side. 9blocks has also added Mark Fagan, who's a CFA, CA, CIPM from Highwater, and Carlos Ferreira, formerly the head of operational due diligence and investment operations at PAMCO, as the independent directors of the fund. A lot of heavy-duty names in that space, and having $75 million digital asset funds is definitely bullish for Dubai, and it just might be a very bullish news for the cryptocurrency sector as well. I really am hoping that I do get a chance to interview people from 9blocks Capital Management, maybe have a series of episodes with them to better understand what the fund of $75 million will be actually utilized for. The next news that I'd like to talk about is about an association. It's called as Dubai's Digital Asset Association, and this is done under the patronage of His Excellency Omar Sultan AlOlama. So let's try to look at what this news is all about. The Dubai Digital Asset Association was launched under the patronage of His Excellency Omar Sultan AlOlama, who's the chairman of Dubai Chamber of Digital Economy. And the key objective of the Dubai Digital Asset Association are promoting the digital asset industry in Dubai, bootstrap transparency through market intelligence and data, support the interest and growth of digital asset companies, and foster cross-border cooperation. So the Dubai Chamber of Digital Economy has formed the Dubai Digital Asset Business Group, called as D2A2, which aims to strengthen the digital assets industry's role in the economic development of the UAE and wider Middle East region. And Crypto Oasis founder Ralf Glabischnig has been elected Secretary General of the association and will contribute the experience with regulation in Switzerland and Liechtenstein. And as we know that Crypto Oasis is a massive association in Dubai so far as cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology and metaverse is concerned, and they had recently overachieved the goal. The goal was to have at least 1,000 members in the association by the year 2020, but in the second quarter of this year, they already achieved that number. So absolutely massive news. So His Excellency Omar Sultan AlOlama, Minister of State for Artificial Intelligence, Digital Economy and Remote Work Applications, Chairman of Digital Chambers of Digital Economy, emphasized the formation of D2A2 as a strategic move aligned with Dubai Chamber of Digital Economy strategy, which aims to fast-track the growth of Dubai's digital economy. He noted that the group provides an ideal platform for companies operating in the digital asset sphere to unify the voices, address market challenges, and align their ambitions, adding that such efforts will accelerate Dubai's digital transformation and achieve the vision of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, to cement the Emirates' position as a global capacity for digital economy. And that's one of the reasons what I want to do is I want to interview the key people who are involved in Dubai's Digital Asset Association. Maybe, if given a chance, I would also want to have a series of episodes where I'd like to talk to them about the formation of Dubai Digital Asset Association, what the goals are, what are the challenges that they are facing. And the whole purpose of me to release these episodes is to educate the general mass on what Dubai is doing in order to become the world leader so far as Web3 is concerned. If given a chance, I would really like to have these series under 3 sections. That is a beginner level series, an advanced level series, and a technical level series. So the beginner level session would be for someone with absolutely no experience, advanced level will be someone with hands-on experience, and technical level will be for someone who has hands-on technical experience in building cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and metaverse projects. And His Excellency Sultan AlOlama said that the digital economy is the economy of the future on which the pillars of the development processes are based, and the D2A2, that is Dubai's Digital Asset Association, will be an important reference providing strategic and up-to-date market research data related to the digital asset sector to industry stakeholders, the private sectors, policymakers, and government entities. And guys, I do have a crypto blog which I write Monday to Thursdays, which is available via my LinkedIn profile. You can also find them on my website and via Medium too. So me doing a series of podcasts with them will be an absolutely brilliant idea. And Gaurang Desai, who's the chairman of D2A2, has said, "We see an opportunity to turn Dubai and the UAE into a regional hub for digital assets. That is why it is very important to work towards creating a bridge for the digital asset industry to further integrate into the world economy by cooperating with counterpart organizations across the world. We wish to welcome all experts in the industry to come and join D2A2 to help us spread the principles of accountability, integrity, and transparency, and promote the highest professional and ethical standards." So definitely a great thing. He further went on to say that D2A2 will reinforce the digital asset industry's commitment to society by educating the public and developing tools to bolster the access to an advanced technology for all. And this is where Blockchain DXB's podcast kicks in. Because what I want to do is, I want to have interviews with startups and associations such as this, but I want to have it at 3 different levels. That is at a beginner level, an advanced level, and at a technical level. So he further went on to say that it will also support the digital assets industry to improve quality, the environment, energy management, and investor protection. So the Dubai Chamber of Commerce works closely with various business groups and councils in Dubai that operate under its umbrella to address shared challenges, share their recommendations for improving ease of doing business, and providing them access to global growth opportunities. So definitely great move. And if you look at Dubai from a world point of view, it is truly turning out to be the leader in Web3. And in case if you do want to find out more information on what Dubai is doing, particularly so far as Metaverse is concerned, I have released a standalone episode called as Dubai Metaverse Strategy. So please check those out as well. And I plan to release a couple of more episodes as a follow-up to the Dubai Metaverse Strategy. So that's all for today, guys, on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. You can also check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. You can also check out my other website, that is area2071.com, that has everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this, please follow this podcast, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next 30 minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kickstart the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And remember, Monday to Thursdays, we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. This is followed by 2 news and information related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East from the cryptocurrency world. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a first question by Chandan, who asks, is it a good idea to invest in DeFi protocol? Now firstly, Chandan, this is not a financial advice. And one reason why I do not give any financial advice is because price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time. So is it a good idea to invest in DeFi protocol? I do not want to give absolutely any investment advice. Even if I say no, Chandan, to that, that is also treated as a financial advice. The thing with DeFi you need to understand, it is big risk, big reward. We did see what happened to Terra Luna, and what impact that had on other projects, it could be possible that there are DeFi protocols or projects that you have invested could go belly up in a matter of days, if not hours too. There's been so many rug pulls that has happened in the cryptocurrency space and in DeFi space as well. My advice to you, Chandan, is focus on the fundamentals of the project. Avoid looking at the price matrix. This is so easier said than done. And I know it's extremely tempting when someone is giving you a ridiculously high interest rate, but you need to understand the fundamentals of the project. Despite the fundamentals being right, there is no saying that the project will 100% work fine. If you look at Alex Mishensky's Celsius network, for instance, that has gone completely belly up. And Alex Mishensky was one of the key voices of the cryptocurrency sector. Now, what I would recommend you to do, Chandan, is if you go to YouTube and go back to 2018, there is a debate between Alex Mishensky from Celsius Network and Dr. Doom, that is Nouriel Roubini. Now, Nouriel Roubini is one of the biggest detractors of Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrencies. He does not like cryptocurrencies and blockchains. What he essentially says it is nothing more than a glorified Excel spreadsheet. If you watch that debate, unfortunately, everything that he said back in 2018 is coming true right now so far as Celsius Network is concerned, and Celsius Network has filed for bankruptcy. So it's really interesting to go and watch that video. So DeFi protocols are pretty much similar. The only recommendation what I would give for you, Chandan, is try to understand the team, try to understand the project. The big question that I often think about is, where does the interest actually comes from? Who creates the interest? Now, so far as the team members are concerned, you also need to look at the LinkedIn profile, look at the history in cryptocurrencies. That being said, it does not necessarily mean that the project is still 100% fine to go. One name I can think at the back of my head is a person called Henri. Now, he's a name who's a prolific coder, and he's known for creating some really good projects like Yon Finance, and also some projects like Pickle, Powerpool, Dream V2, and quite a lot. I think he was one of the creators or co-founders of SushiSwap as well. Now, his name adding into the project does add some legitimacy, but does this mean that it's 100% fine and there would be no rug pull? Definitely not. So I'm really sorry, Chandan. Your answer is probably not what you expected it to be. But is it a good idea to invest in DeFi protocol? It truly depends on your financial understanding, what your financial knowledge is. The advice from my end is try to understand the project, try to understand the fundamentals, and always remember, Chandan, cryptocurrency price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time. Let's move on to the next question. I have a question by Ronald who asks, do you think the money printing will make an impact on the price of cryptocurrencies? Ronald, brilliant question. And this news of the money printing by the Democrats who passed the bill literally happened 10 minutes before I was preparing to go live for this podcast. Now, will there be an impact on the price? Something which I told Chandan, my price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time. So if you're looking at cryptocurrency influencers, or how I like to call it, cryptocurrency price influencers, avoid looking at the price element. Is the money printing going to impact the price of cryptocurrencies? Again, Ronald, this is not financial advice, but in the short term, there is a very high chance that the price of the cryptocurrencies will actually pump. And one reason, Ronald, why we were in a bullish market when the price of Bitcoin shot up to $69,000 is because of the money printing. There was so much of money printing which happened. Where does that money printing go? People do tend to buy Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies. There were a lot of stimulus checks which were given out. It looks like the Democrats are all in favor of money printing. And something which I briefly mentioned at the start of this podcast is that in order to pass the bill, they required 51 votes, and 50 of them were from the Democrats. And it was a tiebreaker. And when there is a tiebreaker, it's the vice president who gets to make a choice. And looks like Kamala Harris chose to do it. Now, I really wish that Pence had done the same thing when the 2020 election was on. But that is a completely different topic. But will this impact the price of cryptocurrencies? I definitely do think so. Ideally, Bitcoin is apolitical, but in real world, politics and politicians do have a massive say in the price of cryptocurrencies. And hopefully, Ronald, maybe in a decade, a couple of decades down the line, there might be a perfect separation of money and the state, where politics and government is no longer responsible in creation, management and supply of money. But till that time, we'll have to work with the politicians. Now what's going on in US is there is a midterm election, and I believe the midterm election takes place on the 8th of November. Because of that, the Biden administration wants to pump up the cryptocurrency market, wants to pump up the stock market, wants everything to be pumped up, because then there's a very high chance for them to get re-elected. So they want to pump the stock market, and they would do absolutely anything. And money printing and approving $740 billion is just one of those moves. Another thing, Ronald, which I think is on the 19th of September is when the Ethereum merge kicks in. So because of these two news, the next few weeks or months, personally, I do think could be bullish. And once again, for the final time, my price predictions are 100% right, 50% of the time. So take it with a grain of salt. So that's all for today, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Please check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website, that is area2071.com, that talks everything about Metaverse. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover job news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East from the cryptocurrency world. What you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.